I got your download and I see you did take a start on the new model. I would say let's focus on this one the most this month until we get it to a really good spot, and then if we have time, we can go back and address the owl a bit more. So I'd like you to do some research on maybe some Disney ZBrush models. That's all I typed into the Google image search, and you can look at some from like Big Hero. Um, There's another one right here. This one's pretty good. It's not from Disney, but it's someone that does Disney-esque style characters. So, just kind of do some research, look at, how they handle the eye sockets, the nose, the mouth, and I think that's going to help you while you're developing your character. Here's maybe another good one too. So as you're going through and looking at these, then you can kind of jump back to your character, which I have here. And when I was looking at it, you're keeping the shapes kind of soft. So I was using a lot of trim dynamic here, and when I have to fill in more right there, I'm using clay tubes to get some more volume to the lips. Same with that underlip. Just kind of turn to the side so you can see some of this as well in 3/4. So you can see how I'm just bringing out, some of those shapes a bit more. Looks like something's up with your symmetry, so I would have to resim that. But when I started working on the jaw here, it really lopped out part of that cheek. So from here, I would start concentrating on eye sockets and, the shape of the face, maybe coming in a little bit here. So maybe using the move brush, push in just a little bit here to where there's going to be a difference between the nose and the forehead. Bring in here more for where there's going to be an eye socket. So just really thinking about the shape of that head, right? Get a bit more of a forehead there. Maybe not that much. But just getting more shape to the head. Your overall base proportions I like, so I think you're in a good spot, with that. But there's some shapes here that, I think you could just kind of go over and get them a little bit more. I don't want to say attractive even. I don't know that that's the right word, but get a little bit more reality into it. Some of the anatomy that we're used to seeing even in cartoony type faces, I think could help out a lot here. So you want to keep things abstract, right? That's kind of what cartooning's about, but we also need some of that anatomy that we're used to seeing. I'm just kind of bringing out some cheekbone there. Maybe we want the lips a little wider than you have them. And you can see I'm going kind of quick here. I'm not staying quite as loose as you were. I'm trying to really think about that anatomy as I'm pushing and pulling some of this around, but I'm looking at all angles to make sure that shape, is working at each angle. So this feels a little filled out to me right here, so maybe I adjust that a bit, look at it from multiple angles again, maybe go back to my reference. I don't really like where that's going, so I'm going to Z back just a little bit to maybe here. And then I will keep working forward. So don't be afraid to kind of go back and try a few things as well. Also try to get the rest of the character blocked in this week as well. So maybe something to this extent where everything's blocked in. It's somewhat refined, but not to kind of a finished position. So maybe check out this model as well to see where to take things. Don't put it in a pose, like keep it in an A position or a T position, but this would be a good spot to get your model to this week.